Welcome back to English from A to Z, English in real life. So, have you ever been in a conversation and you know you have the right words in your head, but all you can manage to say is, good? Yeah. If you are just so tired of giving those one-word answers in English, you have come to the right place. We're about to break down the one simple shift that can unlock real natural conversations.
You know that feeling, right? Someone asks how you are, and your brain just freezes. You've got the vocabulary, you know the words, but all that comes out is that single lonely word. It is such a common frustration for so many learners, but honestly, the solution is much, much simpler than you might think. Let's start by giving this problem a name.
So this feeling, it actually has a name. It's called the intermediate plateau. You can think of it as this kind of frustrating middle ground in your language journey. You've moved way past the beginner basics, but you haven't quite reached that comfortable conversational flow yet. You're just stuck.
Look, at this stage, you have solid practical skills. Ordering food, asking for directions, you've got that covered, no problem. But the real goal, the thing that really makes the language come alive, is going further than that. It's about expressing your own thoughts and your feelings and really truly connecting with people. So how do we get there?
How do you break through this plateau? Well, the key to unlocking fluency isn't what most people think it is. It's not about memorizing tons of advanced vocabulary or mastering really complex grammar rules. Nope. It's about a simple change in how you use the English you already know.
First things first, let's redefine what fluency even means. Because true fluency, it's not about sounding like a walking dictionary. It's about connection. It's the simple ability to add just a little more detail to what you're saying, enough to keep a conversation alive and moving forward.
And that leads us to the single most important skill you can develop to get past that intermediate plateau. Are you ready? It's expansion. That's it. That's the secret. It is the simple act of taking your one-word answer and adding just one more piece of information. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. Let's actually see this expansion method in action. We're going to look at a few common questions and see how this one tiny change completely transforms a basic, boring answer into something that sounds totally natural.
All right, take this classic question. Good is correct, sure, but it's a conversation killer. It just stops everything. Now, look at the natural answer. It's going well. I woke up early and had some coffee, so I feel awake. It uses simple words, but it adds a detail, the coffee, and a feeling, awake. It invites the other person into your world. Here's another one. Tea, please, gets the job done, but notice how adding a small detail like green tea and with no sugar just makes your English sound so much more complete and confident. It's a tiny change, but it shows you're not just translating words in your head, you're actually communicating a clear preference.
And this brilliantly illustrates the power of connecting simple ideas. I studied is fine, it's okay. But by expanding it, I studied English for about an hour, then I went for a walk in the park to relax. You're telling a little story. You're connecting two simple activities to create a much more interesting and fluent sentence.
So how can you start doing this all the time? Well, the best way is to have a simple framework. Let's call it your expansion toolkit.
This toolkit has 3 super simple tools. First, add a detail. What kind of tea? Who did you study with? Second, add a reason. Why do you feel awake? And third, add a feeling. How did that walk in the park make you feel? Now, you don't need to use all 3 every single time. Honestly, just adding one can instantly make your English sound so much more natural. Okay, we've broken down the theory, we've seen the examples, but fluency isn't built by just watching videos. It's built through practice. The goal now is to take this idea right off the screen and put it directly into your very next conversation. This quote right here perfectly sums up the entire idea. Fluency isn't some destination you suddenly arrive at. It's something you build. It's not about being perfect. It's about just adding one more piece of information. Every single time you expand an answer,
You are actively building your fluency, brick by brick.
So here's the most important takeaway from all of this. Your practice doesn't need to be some special study session. Your practice is your next conversation. The next time someone asks you a simple question, see it as an opportunity. What small detail, what reason, or what feeling can you add to your answer? That's your challenge. Go try it.